Okay, we'll have a statement from Coach Fortier, and then we'll have questions for the student athletes. Once we're done with the questions for the student athletes, we'll dismiss them and have questions for Coach.
It was a great game for fans and coaches, and the game of basketball. I think both teams played really hard. They played really well. Anyone who knows about basketball or sports knows that there's runs, and both teams certainly went on theirs. Really proud of our team for positioning themselves to be in the spot where we were a number one seed in a tournament where no one thought we were even going to make it if they didn't take every team in our league. Back in the fall, there's a lot of people who wrote us off, and the people in the locker room did not. We stayed the course. We got better. Both these guys put us on our shoulders at different times throughout the season pretty often, and I think that it's been the most proud I've been at the improvement that a team has made in a single season. It's pretty remarkable. So even though the final outcome wasn't what we wanted it to be, I can't say enough about this group of people and the things that they learned and the life lessons that they're going to have because they're tough and they're gritty and they know how to go to work and stay the course. So.
Okay, questions for the student athletes.
Allie, on the inbounds play where they stole the ball, could you tell that she had a feeling where the ball was going, or what did you take us through that a little bit and tell us what happened?
I think that it just wasn't very well executed by us, so don't really remember what happened.
Yvonne, you've had an incredible amount of success in your career. Can you sort of put into context what this outcome feels like and means to you that you aren't going to be able to get back to the NCAAs again?
I'm just grateful to be able to wear Zag jersey. Whatever opportunity that is and comes, I think that's the real joy in it. We play basketball a lot, so as long as I get to do it in a Zag jersey, there's success in that.
Right behind you.
Yvonne, talk about the last 3 minutes, and you guys just didn't look like yourselves like you had, especially the second quarter and then the start of the fourth where you got a little bit of a cushion. What happened in the last 3 minutes?
Played basketball. We made plays. We didn't make plays. That's how the game goes. Yeah.
Yvonne, probably not in the moment. You're not thinking of this, but you passed Drew Timmy as the all-time leading Zag scorer, men or women. That's got to mean something to you, even with the loss. Can you just elaborate on that a bit?
I feel like when I got to the women's scoring all-time record, there was so much hype around it. Oh, she's almost there, she's almost there, she's almost there, and none of that really matters because I come here and I play basketball and I'm with these people, so it's great. I just want to play basketball. I came here to play basketball. I didn't come here to break records. So I don't value that more than the time I get on the court with my team.
All right, in the back.
Yvonne, you've talked a lot about your decision to come back and even having to go through the heartbreak right now. Just what do you think is the biggest benefit of you coming back for one more year?
I think just being able to play with my teammates, being able to grow in this environment. They've poured a lot into me, and I wouldn't be the player I am right now without the coaching staff and my former teammates and my current teammates right now. And I think that's the real reason why I wanted to stay. I didn't want to leave. I just didn't want to go anywhere for my 5th year, knowing that I could take it. So, hopefully that answers your question.
Questions for Allie?
Allie, what has this first year of playing with these seniors meant to you?
It means a lot. I was saying earlier that they came into this season with a totally different team than they had last season, and I think they really made the most of it, and their leadership didn't go unnoticed. So without them next year, it'll be rough. But I think that if we carry on their leadership how they had it this year, then we'll be pretty good. But obviously, can't replace them.
Okay. All right, thank you both. Okay, questions for Coach? Go ahead, in the back.
Coach, just with how this team grew over the season, and you know, obviously the tough spot right now, but just how proud are you of them? Maybe not for the results on the court, but just kind of where they started and where they are today.
Yeah, I mean, we won 20 whatever games. You know what I mean? Like, and again, it's not a slight to anyone else, but in sports, you gotta focus on the people in the room, which is what makes this so hard. Because we see, I mean, Vani has given us whatever she's got. On the court, she's given of herself emotionally. She's given of herself as a leader. I mean, she's just a remarkable person. So I think it's interesting to be in here with Vani, this 5th year, who started from, you know, a great athlete who had a lot of room to go, and then bring in Allie, who just had a freshman year like no freshman apparently since Heather Bowman. I don't know. That's what people keep telling me. And so I just think that like there's so much more to it, right? And everyone has a job. And so like you know, coaches have the job of putting together a group of people and then helping them to try to achieve as much as they can collectively as a group. And I think that these guys are just like they did what we asked them to. They gave and gave and gave and gave. And especially, you know, not to slight Allie, but the seniors, like they're the reason why we didn't struggle in conference for most of the time, because they could have just hung up their hat. They could have done what everyone else was doing and written themselves off, and they didn't. And so I think that's like the best part of this team, was that the seniors just said, no, that's not what we're doing today. We're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and this is how you do things, and this is how you succeed, and this is what it means to be a player who plays at Gonzaga. And it's just rough to be in this situation right now, because I see how much they've achieved, more than a lot of people thought they were going to, and then also like we fell short of the goal, and I feel for them. Vani, you know, she wanted to play in the NCAA tournament. She wanted, Mout is emotional. She wanted to play in the NCAA tournament. Bree's emotional. Taylor never got to do that. So, you know, Esther got to do it some. So I think it's just hard to balance the part where you're so proud of somebody or a group of people, and then also so disappointed in the situation.
Lisa, everyone in that locker room mentioned those seniors and the leadership they provided, and Allie especially said she wants to try and carry that forward. With everything that you went through over the last year and a half, being able to lean on them, just that group in particular, how tough is it to say goodbye to them after, you know, this year where they probably meant more to you than maybe some of the other groups you've had over the years, you know?
Really?
Sorry.
Well, last year at this time, we were sitting up here lying about the fact that I had cancer. And it was this big inside situation. I think I told you guys that me and Lynn and Vani were joking that after we lost in the NCAA tournament, I was just going to come up and be like, well, everyone has all these problems. Well, guess what? This is ours. So here you go. See you later. And I think that those that were here last year, or we were being recruited at the time, I mean, I did visits with some of these players. Taylor put off her visit so that I could have a mastectomy. You know what I mean? Like, it just, the group is close. I think the stuff that you go through makes it closer. And they coached themselves for part of the time. The other assistants were there, but they had to lead themselves. They had to develop themselves. They were willing to do whatever I needed them to do. I would try to come back, and they would say, Coach, we got this. We'll handle it. And the group of seniors, I mean, I've had a lot of good groups of seniors, so I'm not going to say that the other ones haven't been as good, but remarkable, the leadership that they have. If you have a big company, you should hire them because they're just amazing people who invest, and they know how to lead, and they know how to adapt. And, they've been a huge part of, my journey. And I know each other's, and I have no doubt that Allie's she had good people to model to her. And I know she was just the freshman running around out there, but she was taking in everything that Maut and Vaughn and Esther and Bree and Taylor did, and she's going to be well suited for the future. And any young leader or future leader who could look up to those guys would be better off for it.
Lisa, talk about your defense. It was so on point today and so tough.
Yeah, I think besides that, that first quarter, I mean, they were 4 for 4 from 3 maybe right off the bat. And then after that, we settled in if we could get a couple of those back. I think that the fourth quarter, we had a little bit of a cushion, and then we didn't guard as well as we could have. So I think that we were trying to substitute some offense and defense, but I liked when we had the better defending team in, and then sometimes we needed the better scoring team, and that wasn't always the same. And so I think that's when we got into a little bit of trouble. But I thought that for the most part we made them work. I mean, they shot a better percentage than we want, and their 3-point percentage was way too good for a team that doesn't actually make a ton of threes. So I wish we could have done that better.
You didn't get the shots you wanted the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game. Was it Oregon State or?
I don't hate to. They're intense defense. When they had with their starting lineup, they guard hard, they pressure. We didn't execute a couple things. I think that we were a little casual at the wrong times. Like, I think that we didn't realize that maybe they weren't just going to let us run a play and see if we made it or not. That certainly wasn't their game plan. And so we had, I think, 3 or 4 turnovers in that stretch. I know we had 3 at least. So on a game where you don't turn it over very much, those ones came at a really bad time.
All right, we have one question online. Let's go to that.
Is it Lindsay Schnell?
Lindsay is on here. She
Yeah.
hasn't raised her hand yet. It's Ethan Browning.
Oh, okay.
Coach, Scott at OSU this season talking a lot about building history. This team's WCC, but you guys are going to be going into the Pac-12 back with OSU in a couple of years and joining them. How do you feel these 3 super down-to-the-wire games are impacting how you're going to go into the Pac-12, especially against OSU as an opponent?
I just think that they're it's the start of a little rivalry or whatever. We've gone back and forth. We were split before we came into this season playing them in conference. Now we're down 1. But every game that we've played against them has gone back and forth. He's a great coach who does a really good job. I think that probably he could say a lot of the same things about their program, and people probably counted them out when they had all the people go in the transfer portal. So if I was him, I'm sure he's got a lot to be really proud of as well. And I just think it will hopefully speak to the quality. I know that some people are talking about a rebuild of the conference, but I know that the Washington State, Oregon State, and us, the ones that we're playing right now, are certainly game to do that, and really good women's basketball programs. So it should be a lot of fun.
All right, we have time for one more question in the room. Right here in front.
Lisa, you probably haven't thought about this yet, but do you expect to be invited to a tournament, and would you accept if you were?
I haven't thought about it a whole lot, a little bit, and probably. I think we have some really good young players on our team to where if it works out, then that's great for them to get postseason experience. Obviously, it's not in the NCAA tournament, but I think there's a bunch of other people who are trying to figure that out for us right now. Yeah.
We may have one more question online. Doug?
Yeah, just wanted to check, Lindsay, do you have a question?
I don't have a question, you guys. I'm just here listening this time, but thank you for asking.
All right.
You're always welcome, Lindsay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.